Hi, my name is Miss Kristen Thomas, and I'll be doing very short topics based off of math. You could use this for CSEC or introductory maths, meaning forms 1, form 2, well, not form 1, this is trigonometry, but yeah, forms 1, 2, 3, whatever basic math it is. And I intend on doing some very, very brief videos, mainly to focus on the content. A lot of my students prefer my notes. Sometimes certain people miss certain basic topics, and I wanted to, well, this is basically a way that I figured out, I'd like to get certain things done in case someone is not able to have a class with me. So I would be doing trigonometry, and I would start with the basics that I usually start with. I would upload these videos and it would be labeled. So it doesn't matter what format, this would be the basics for it. So like I said, the first thing I want to look at is Pythagoras Theorem. And you can only use Pythagoras Theorem when it's basically when it's a right angle triangle. Any note, Pythagoras Theorem is used in right angle triangles only. So the hypotenuse is always the longest line, and also not just the longest line, because there are some funny looking triangles where you just simply don't know which one is the longest side. But the side that is opposite to the right angle is always the hypotenuse. Usually they would mark off another angle. Most times they use theta, that's the symbol, it's a Greek letter. And theta is used, like I said, as a variable to mark off what the angle is over here between these two lines. This triangle here is labeled triangle ABC. Now, whenever you're labeling the triangle, though, for your sake, if you okay, the hypotenuse, this angle here, the line that's opposite the angle, which is theta, is always the opposite side, and the remaining side would always be the adjacent. I made a little note here as well. So this is to identify, and pause the video now and take that down. So Pythagoras' theorem, let's go down a bit. So Pythagoras' theorem is this formula here: c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. C squared is always the hypotenuse, and well, it doesn't matter actually which one is which, a squared and b squared. The reason is because addition is commutative. Addition is commutative means it doesn't matter the order in which you add numbers, it will always give the same result. So I feel like I should always, in my future videos, I'll put up little laws and things like that on the side here or something. Let me know in the comments below. So c squared is always the longest side. Well, c is always the longest side, sorry, and a and b are the two other sides. Now going back up here, I did not label the diagrams. So if this is capital A, capital B, and capital C, the side that's opposite the letter, it always goes in common. So the hypotenuse here is common C. The adjacent here is opposite capital A. So this side would be common A, and the opposite side is of B here. Well, capital B would be common B. So you label the sides, but just with common letters. This is how you label the triangle, and you identify your right angle triangle. So this side is always C, this side is always, well, not always A and not always B, but either or, depends on how your triangle is, right? So that's all you need to remember for the triangle. You need to remember this here, your law for Pythagoras' theorem. So next we'll look at an example. Okay, so this is our first example, example number 1. So pretty much, I'm accustomed using Zoom, right? So this is the easiest way I think I could put up these videos without it being a hassle. So we're using Pythagoras' theorem, and you always need to solve for the missing side, which is x. So we have this side, which is x, this side, which is 12 meters, and this side, which is 13 meters. So we need to label the sides. Now we don't really have the sides with the letters here. So in that case, we could just make sure and identify them first. So this is the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle and it's the longest side. So X is the hypotenuse. Then we could let either or be A and B, right? So I let 12 be A and 13 be B. It doesn't matter which one is which. If you're solving for the longest side, it doesn't matter which one is which. So you just need to pick one and assign one. So when you substitute, and whenever you're substituting, I need you to use your brackets. So the formula is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. A is 12, B is 13. So this would now get this line. This symbol means implies, by the way, meaning you're going from like one step to another step with your working. It comes in handy for different questions. But we'll discuss that another day. So C squared is equal to 12 squared plus 13 squared. When you should use your scientific calculator. Casio or Sharp is the preferable brand. I know most schools are online and virtual right now, but stick to your scientific calculator, like your physical calculator, I should say. Your physical scientific calculator. I'm so sorry. Oh. So 12 squared is 144, 13 squared is 169. I mean, I guess you could figure that out if you're good with your timetables. So when you add that, you'll get 313. So C squared is now equal to 113. Now, I know whenever you find any square root of a number, you would usually have plus or minus, but specifically for Pythagoras Theorem, you would not take the negative number. We only working with the positive number for now. So the square root of 313, I believe the answer that I have here, let me double check the answer. I know I said you don't use your computer calculator. I know I'm using mine, but I changed it to scientific. So my answers would be more accurate, but usually they aren't. So the square root of 313 is 17.69. And usually if they don't state how many decimal places to round off to, I like to round it off to 2. I think for trig sometimes they round it off to 1. I'm not sure, different teachers say different things, so whatever you were told in your school. But if you want to go with me, and whenever I was unsure, I would just use 2 decimal places. So that's example number 1. So you can probably pause the video and take this down. All right, so if you are ready to try your own question, you can go ahead and try this one. You could go ahead and pause the video. We are using Pythagoras Theorem, of course, and we need to find the missing side X. It's just like the example I did. Just follow it. The one has simpler numbers, so this should be super easy to do. So you could go ahead, pause the video, try it. If you're a little bit unsure, you could go ahead and continue watching this, and you could use it as a second example. And for those of you all who want to see if you are correct, well, you can look at the solution now and make sure that your solution matches the one on the screen, because once you have a good solution, you would be able to you'll get total marks, right? In a nutshell, basically, bottom line. So the first thing I need to do actually is label my side. So the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle and it's the longest side. So this is side C. It has no angle here, so we could let anyone be A and anyone be B. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have an angle written off or anything. So let's just call this one A and this side B. If by chance you used B as 7 and A as 2, you'll get the same answer. It doesn't matter. You should get the same final answer. So C is really X squared, and whenever we are substituting, we would be using the brackets. And also, well, I put the formula here so you wouldn't get confused. This is just how I write to the power of 2 when I'm typing, if I'm doing the working live like this, because usually teachers just put the solution, but I find my students tend to understand a bit more because when I do the solutions like this, because they get to see how actually to write it up themselves if they're unsure. So C is X, so you get X squared. A is 7, 7 squared, and B is 2, 2 squared. So x remains as x squared, 7 squared is 49, 2 squared is 4. So x squared is equal to, sorry, this is so normal for me and my classes. I just have this tendency to do this. So 49 and 4, also I do my mental maths out loud to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. I am so sorry if that does not appease to anybody out there, but I am trying to teach by example and show students that it's quite okay if they need to count on their fingers to make sure, because they're a bit anxious for class. That's quite okay. It's normal. It's fine. I mean, it's better to do this, and nobody would even see you doing it or know you doing it. I mean, everybody would see me on this video, but that's quite okay. But it's better to do that and get it right than be proud and get it wrong because you think you do it real fast and you get it out. This time you made a careless mistake. So 49, 53. So x squared is equal to 53. So therefore x would be equal to the square root of 53. They did not give us any units, like the last question was meters, so I think my answer is supposed to be in meters. So you need to find, okay, that was really horrible. So you need to find the square root of 53, and that's the best I can draw it, and I don't know how to do it any better. Don't laugh, but actually no, that's okay if you're laughing at me because I'm laughing at me too. So therefore 8, yeah, I'll put it 7.28 because I want to put 2 decimal places because I think that's a little bit easier. If they didn't specify, just put 2 decimal places. It's quite simple. If they use 1 decimal place throughout your whole question, then use 1 decimal place. If they use 3, use 3. If they don't say, use 2. The answer is x is equal to 7.28 units. Okay, so if this video was helpful, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you would like a tutor like me to work with you with some more questions, I do like single sessions with persons who feel like they just need help in a couple things, or if you're interested in long-term classes, all the information will be linked below. I hope this was helpful. Bye.